Welcome back. I'm Tad Radzinski, speaker, educator, and expert in corporate responsibility and sustainable product design. Thank you all for following this blog, and I appreciate all the comments you've been providing. This is our October series on recognizing risks, identifying opportunities, succeeding in the green marketplace. Today we're going to be talking about navigating supply chain demands. Every product we use is connected to some supply chain. And if you think about it, there's global supply chains because we receive products from all over the world. There's many companies that have a very huge supply chain. For example, an automobile. Just think about all the parts that go into an automobile. Very huge supply chain. Everything from tires to nuts and bolts to windshields. So huge amounts of connection among businesses getting various parts and products as they manufacture products or sell products. So with this activity in the market right now, there's been a lot of focus by many organizations on understanding their supply chain sustainability and evaluating some of the impacts of the products they sell. So I want to talk about a company that many of us are familiar with, Walmart, that has actually established a very significant supply chain program. Back in 2010, they sent a questionnaire to all their suppliers, and that's about 100,000 different organizations. And there were 15 questions on that questionnaire that they sent out. And basically, they were asking these suppliers to suddenly start to think about sustainability. There was questions about how they used energy and climate change. There were questions about materials and resources. There was questions about their social responsibility, including things about safety and auditing of their facilities and third-party certifications. So when Walmart sent this out, they essentially put sustainability on the roadmap for over 100,000 organizations that probably never even heard the word. This is really great because this got a lot of people really thinking about it, taking a hard look at how they operate their facilities, the products they manufacture, and that was just step one. Now Walmart has basically evolved to where they have these large aspirational goals, and one of them is to sell products that sustain people and the environment. And the way they're doing that is they're using that original supply chain questionnaire to basically get feedback from the suppliers on where they're ranking within their various organizations in terms of sustainability. If they are measuring carbon footprint, if they're reducing water, reducing waste, if they do have programs for their employees and communities. And by using that information, then they're able to, number one, see where the supply chain ranks in terms of sustainability. They're also working very closely with the Sustainability Consortium to develop these scorecards and questionnaires that will be utilized for various product categories to rank the sustainability of products. And Walmart has already started a process where they're using this information from the suppliers to evaluate various products, and Walmart is now in the process of training their purchasers who buy these products and materials from the suppliers to start to understand the sustainability of not only the company but the products that are being purchased. So this is really huge, and imagine if you're a supplier to Walmart and you know that they're evaluating your sustainability, you're definitely going to take steps to do something. Whether you start to implement programs to save energy or you start to report information on your products. We also know that there's a huge movement within the building products world right now to increase transparency about various building products. Right now, there's hundreds of building products manufacturers evaluating their environmental impacts of their product using life cycle assessment and publishing these things called environmental product declarations, which are being published so builders, architects, building owners can start to understand the environmental impacts of the products they're selecting in the buildings. Also, there's another thing happening, it's called health product declarations, and these same building product manufacturers are actually creating these HPDs, they're called, and listing all the chemicals and materials within their products so architects, builders, building owners can start to understand what are some of the health impacts of the products and materials they're selecting. This activity is not just happening with retailers like Walmart and the building products world. It's also happening within the healthcare industry. Kaiser Permanente has established a environmentally preferable purchasing program, and they basically have questionnaires that go out to all their suppliers that address not only aspects of corporate responsibility or corporate sustainability, but they definitely ask about material content of products. So if we look at this, an example of this questionnaire, you can see there's a lot of questions on here that are related to a company's or an organization's sustainability program. Talks about measuring carbon footprint, ISO 14000 environmental management systems. So huge things happening, and really important to note that this is only the beginning. If the Walmarts of the world are doing the Kaiser Permanentes, you're going to start to see many organizations start to ask their suppliers to provide this information. This information is going to be really good for the folks that are buying the products like the Walmarts and the Kaiser Permanentes, but it's also really good for all of us. If we think about it, by these big companies asking for this information, that means more and more companies are going to be transparent about what they're doing with their sustainability programs and many of the products they manufacture, maybe material content and things like that. So all of us that are buying products, quote unquote consumers, we can really get educated and start to look at the companies we're buying products from. We can learn more about them. We can also start to look at the products we're buying and learn more about those and some of the environmental impacts. And it's only going to be a matter of time till we'll see labels on these products that'll tell you what is the carbon footprint of a particular product. What's the embodied energy? How much water did it use in the manufacturing? So it's imperative for any of you that are suppliers to somebody to really establish a solid corporate responsibility or sustainability program in your organization. And it's also going to be really good for us, people that are just buying these products, to learn more about this so we can utilize this information to really select the products that we want to purchase. So I really appreciate everybody coming today. We're actually going to be having a webinar next week, and we're going to be able to take a deeper dive into this topic as well as how to reduce carbon emissions. And that'll be great because you'll be able to ask me questions right online, and we can definitely address these directly. But it's imperative that you continue to follow this series because we are seeing here that you really need to be prepared to compete in the marketplace by having corporate responsibility programs, being prepared to answer questions from these different suppliers, and also being able to use this to your competitive advantage. Once you have established a solid corporate responsibility program, you can basically show that you're ahead of your competition, maybe sell more products to the folks you're selling to, or you can use that to communicate both internally and externally to your internal and external customers, the things you're doing to help drive change within your organization. So thank you for attending. I look forward to talking to all of you on the webinar next week, and continue to please provide comments and information as you look at my blog, because that really helps me tailor what I talk about each week. Thank you.